Well, Elaine Estes is a wealth of knowledge. She came to Iowa at 16 to attend Drake University, and she made history as the first black woman to reside in Drake dorms and as an executive director for Des Moines Public Library. KCCI's Rhea Spigner shares her story.
Walk me through, I think I want to start with your journey coming from Missouri to Drake University.
They indicated they had not had African Americans in the dormitory. My parents said I could not come to school here at 16 years old because I had to be in the dormitory.
Talk to me about what it felt like being in Des Moines. Did things seem neutral? Did they seem progressive for people who look like us? We
were later surprised that some things were not as open as we had expected. But again, that was not because of Iowa laws. There turned out to be a case later in the 1950s that sued Katz Drug Store for not permitting people to eat at their soda fountain.
Not permitting black people, right?
Mm-hmm.
What do you feel like is the difference between that moment of civil rights and what people were fighting for when you were in the thick of it versus George Floyd and what ignited those protests here?
The early civil rights, I think, were very structured and very goal-oriented and very carefully thought through and formalized with the people working across the country. We were sort of in the 2020 year, which had many things going on for it politically and socially and at random. And so I think that's the one difference in there not being a structure or particular things to achieve.
What needs to change now in Iowa and across the country?
I'm not sure how you train people's mind or their taste or their exposure to understanding that everybody needs to be accepted on their own cognizance. George Floyd and the other people who've been killed, there's kind of assumption that they're all the same, and that certainly is not true. And people should be listened to and given an opportunity to present their case before they're shot down.
The leaders who are going to take over this world, what's one thing you would say to them?
Be informed before you make a decision. Being informed means being educated, however you get it, formally or informally. You know what you're about.